Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Arts Council of Surrey Community Gallery here at the Newton Cultural Centre. My name is Wendy Mould. I am the producer of ACS Gallery Talks. I'm here today to introduce you to our featured artist for the month of June, Lou James. Lou's show can be seen here in person until June 28th, or it can be seen online at the artscouncilofsurrey.ca. Lou's show is called The Movement of Life. His art embraces colors, textures, layers, and they all pair together to create a unique abstract journey. Lou wants to challenge his viewers, their perspective, their perceptions, and their assumptions. Lou says he attacks his canvas with lots of different energies. I can feel that energy when I look at his work, and I'm looking forward to learning more about his work and his process. So, let's go meet the artist. Well, hello, Lou. It's really nice to meet you and chat with you today about your art. I was very interested in seeing what you do and talking to you about it. So your first piece that we're going to look at today is the Tempest drum. Can you tell me a little bit, like, how did you get the name, and let's go from there.
So I guess we can start with the name. The names usually just come to me usually after the piece is done. I don't usually think of these things prior because I kind of want the piece to naturally develop, and then as I get to know it, then the piece kind of gives me a name.
And what does this Tempest drum mean?
The Tempest drum is a feeling you get when you're being thrashed around by the ocean. I've spent a lot of time surfing and scuba diving. I've spent my entire life on the beach, so yeah, it definitely has that visceral feeling of action in the ocean.
Oh, I guess you don't fear it.
No. There was a time I did, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love to swim, but boy, when that undertow grabs me, I lose the faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, can you tell us a little bit about how you prepare and get started with your pictures and what you do? I understand that's quite a process for you, an important part of creating it. So could you kind of take us through that?
So what I do mainly with my paintings is I come up with an idea, but the idea is a very small amount of the painting. It's mainly the prep work, which is fun because it allows me to kind of just loosen up. So I get all my materials ready. In the backgrounds, I'll work from the bottom to the top. And what I'm doing is I'm blending the colors slowly and then bringing all the colors together. So that way there's a bit of unification. And then it allows me the opportunity when I go to finish the painting, there's no obstruction. It's just one straight go, and it's more action painting.
And are you using spray? Are you using paintbrushes? Like, what tools do you use?
I actually make my own blades, so they're extremely sharp. And what I do is I mix my own chemicals and different spray paints and all, more of a various, so I get an option, like a lot of variety. And then what I do is I balance the paint on a blade, let it sit for a while, and then I make sure I quickly snap, and that way you get straight cut, because most paintings that are done like this are done on the ground. These are done vertical. So it allows me to attack the painting quite fast, and then you get these straight, sharp lines.
Oh, I understand now, because you commented on how you like to attack it with lots of energy, and you really are attacking it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very neat. Okay, well, let's go on and look at another picture. Well, Lou, this is kind of a neat one. I actually really enjoy this painting, and not that I don't enjoy your other work, but when you start to see which ones become your favorite, this is certainly one of mine. And Elysian Fields. Can you tell us about the name, and then get some more on that?
For me, I wanted to create a painting that I've spent most of my life in nature, and then looking at the sky from a beautiful vantage point, but like you're in the field. And then I also wanted to have that feeling of movement, like the wind's blowing everything into the air, and then it's like, what's the word for it? Place of peace.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you certainly have that sense of something blowing up, and I mean, I've been in that field, like you
Exactly.
feel that way, right?
Perfect.
Except you're missing the buttercups, but I guess they're down the
Oh,
bottom.
they're there, you can see them.
Yes. Okay, well, can you tell us now, you were going to explain a little bit more about your process with this. Could you tell us a little bit about how this painting would be built up?
So the backgrounds are definitely the body of the work, and I try my best to work as fast as possible. That way the piece isn't over constricted or becomes claustrophobic. So when I work with my palette knife, I will actually add chemicals to the paint as I go, and I move as quickly as possible. It's kind of like speed chess, so your mind doesn't get blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, right. And what about the sky? Do you consider that background, or do you consider that?
Both. I think the idea for me is I want the sky to fall in the background, but at the same time there's elements that I'm trying to portray that, yes, it is a sky, but as well it's also abstract impressionism.
Right, right. Yes, it is. And yet it looks realistic all at the same time, doesn't it? Yeah. Makes you realize how abstract our world really is.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's move on to another one.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, this one really caught my eye. So this is Julia. Can you tell us a little bit about Julia?
Well, Julia started off as a background piece to kind of develop my technique, and then I decided that I wanted to add shapes, and then it turned into me actually creating a face and a body and some actual depth to the painting. Just kind of took over.
Yeah, it did. Now you tell me that Julia represents someone?
Yeah, my mother, she's always been a very conflicted person, but she had that a lot of self-worth and pride, and I really wanted to do an angular, I guess, matriarch, and that's kind of how I saw her in my youth. And I think in the last days it definitely made me feel like every time I walked into my house and my painting was up on the wall, that she was with me. So that's
Yeah.
why we named it after her.
Well, she certainly looks very dynamic and powerful, and yet not, you know, like a gentle woman at the
There's
same
a
time.
lot of pieces to a person. I think that's what it's about.
Yes, yes, and you feel that and you can see that, yes. Neat, neat. So now, this is not all that you're doing with your painting, with your art. You have another whole genre that you're into.
Yes, I love to mix mediums. So if it's stone, wood, or pretty much anything. I think materials are kind of like at your disposal, so you might as well grab on everything. Be greedy. I think that's the best part about being an artist.
Right, so sculpturing is something that you like to do, and what are you thinking about with then? What is your focal point for your sculpturing?
I don't really think too much about the piece before when I sculpt. I do a lot of manual labor in my life, so when I actually start sculpting, I will literally just start taking pieces away, and then as I take pieces away, the sculpture will actually reveal itself.
I see, and then you move into that direction.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, unless you're an artist, people don't really understand when
Yeah.
you say, oh, well, it just takes over, but
It does.
it does. I almost see it like the material begins to have input. Because you have your direction, but no, it's not going that way.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it should be at the end as natural as possible, so that way when you see it, it belongs there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a good feeling.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so now, where are you going? You tell me the show is going to be hitting the road. What kind of things are you planning now?
I'm actually sending them all out, the majority of them, and they're going to Montreal, Vancouver, and Toronto.
Wow, and what are they going to do?
They're going to be sold, hopefully. And then I can fill those spaces again.
Right,
Yeah, I
right.
think it's time that they take flight, I guess.
Yeah, I know, now is Julia gonna take flight, or are you gonna hang on to her for
I
a
think I'm
bit?
gonna hang on to her because she has a lot of sentimental value, and also it's the beginning. I think for her, she and for also my wife, it means a lot to us. So,
Right,
yeah.
right. I know it's, for most of the time,
Yeah.
my pictures are, I really am excited about them when I'm working on them, but once I'm done, I want them to the next challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like what you said about a challenge. I like it's like a vacation stepping into my studio. When I sit down, I feel that's exactly where I need to be.
Yeah,
And as soon as a piece moves on out, can't wait for the next one.
yeah, I totally understand, totally understand. Well, it's been really great to meet and talk with you today, Lou. I've really enjoyed discussing your work with you, and I look forward to seeing more in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You can view Lou's show here at the Newton Cultural Center until June 28th, and you can also view it online at the artscouncilofsurrey.ca.